Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and welcome to a youthful experience here on the Amateur Otaku podcast. I'm your host today, Isaac Wolf. Joining me in this lovely recording is Jamie and Didge. How's it going, yo?
I'm good. I'm excited to talk about one of my favorite what's it called? Lifestyle anime. That's not the term, but
Slice
y'all
of
know.
life.
Slice of life. There we go. The term was escaping me.
I see.
I'm getting old.
Yeah. How about you, Didge? Is everything going good?
Doing good, Things are things are happening, life is lifing, but
Mm.
like Jamie said, this is one of my favorite feel good animes of the season. It's constantly fighting for the top spot.
That's nice. That's nice. And obviously, the baddies are back. But and yeah, it's going good here too. And I was curious about this with you guys have talking about this so much for the last month or so.
Mm.
Or has it been over a month since this came out?
Oh yeah, it's been a couple of months, I think, because
Yeah.
it came
Oh,
out back in April, beginning of April at that.
did it? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
Yeah. Oh, the dear Lord,
Wow.
that's it has gone on for quite some time, then.
Hmm.
yeah. I think
That's
there's only
crazy.
like three or so episodes left. I think they're only doing 12 episodes in the season.
Oh no.
Oh, I mean, 24 episodes. Did you say 24?
No, I think they're only doing 12. So I think it's
Okay.
Oh, were you
Oh.
talking about Delicious in Dungeon, Isaac?
No, I'm talking about Grandma and Grandpa
Okay. Yeah.
young, becoming young again.
Yeah, I think
But
they're only doing 12. Delicious in Dungeon is doing 24.
they're doing 11 actually. I just looked it up to make sure.
They're doing
So
11.
there are 2 episodes left because one came out,
Oh my gosh.
and actually technically not really that many. So because um the 10th episode comes out Thursday or Sunday, and
Yeah.
then obviously the finale will be the following Sunday.
Oh my gosh.
it's a first impression, Mike. Uh,
It's basically
It could be
well.
whatever you want it
Yeah, I
to
was gonna
be.
say, how many episodes have you guys all watched?
I
I'm
have
caught up.
watched five.
Oh,
I have
okay.
watched five.
I'm caught up too.
But
So
quite frankly, it does. Before we go into detail about it, it kind of feels like a show you sort of can jump in without any problems of following the story. To be
Yeah, I think
perfectly
so for the
frank,
most part.
mm-hmm.
and well, this is for later. But before we go into detail about this one, I'm thinking about we should start with a what have we watching slash reading. And Jamie, since it's been an episode that you have been on board, I was just wondering what have you read, watch the recently? Well, besides Grandma and Grandpa becoming young again.
Yeah, so haven't read anything as of late. It's been a hot minute since I've read something. I need to get back on it. I've been reading quote unquote real books, I guess, or books that don't have pictures of them basically. I'm on my intellectual era right now. But what I've been watching, me and Ditch talked about it earlier. I've been watching Delicious in Dungeon. I've been liking it, but I also feel like a 24 episode season, especially for the first season, I don't know if it was the right move. So we've got today the 23rd episode came out, so next week will be the finale. So a lot of finales happening next week, actually. I've also been watching My Hero Academia, and I've been like, that one's been a roller coaster, but a good roller coaster, but still like it hurts sometimes. The I don't know how much I want to say for it, just in case people haven't started it yet, but That one, I've been enjoying that one. That one's hit me in the feels. Also been watching Kaiju number 8. Really like that. Demon Slayer, obviously, always on Demon Slayer. And Go-Go Loser Ranger, actually. Which I was like 50-50 on in the beginning, but I feel like the longer that it's gone on, the more I've kind of been intrigued by what they're doing, like the story that they're telling. So I've been enjoying it. I've been watching a lot of anime. I'm just like, I gotta stay on top of it. Otherwise, all the episodes start to pile up. So, but yeah, it's been good.
That's nice. How about you, Didge? And welcome to the stream,
Oh,
I suppose.
let's see. I just
Hello.
started this show. What's up, Mike?
What's up?
Welcome. I just started this show. It's called Sengoku Yoko. It's on Crunchyroll. I'm literally only 2 episodes in, so I can't give you too much about it. But
Ooh,
it's basically like there's these two, like the girl, she's a fox spirit, and I don't know, her brother's not a fox spirit for some reason. So I guess they're just siblings because they're both spirits. But she loves humans, he hates humans, and it's sort of like their journey.
I see.
So it's interesting so far. The season's already done, so I should hopefully be able to power through it. Like you said, been watching Kaiju number 8, Go Loser Ranger, all the typical stuff we've been talking about. Delicious in Dungeon. I do agree with you. I don't think that they should have did a 24 episode season. I remember back, I think it had to be episode 12 or maybe 13.
That's crazy to say. I remember back when, and it's the first.
Well, I remember we were talking about it, and I think it might have been before we realized it was 24. We were like, "Oh yeah, this felt like a finale."
Yeah.
How it thought it ended well,
I remember
and then
that.
the next week we're like, "Oh wait, it's still going on."
Yep.
Oh,
It's funny because I've listened to multiple podcasts, not anime related, but they'll talk about like what they've been watching and stuff, and they'll mention like, "Oh yeah, I've been watching Delicious in Dungeon," and literally half of them will be like, "Wait, that show is still going." So it's interesting. I also forgot
Vindication.
it's good
Pretty
show.
much.
It's just like they need to think about it a little bit. That I have some comments on that, but I also forgot to mention that I've been watching Summertime Rendering as well. That is a good ass show, and that is actually also, I think it's like 22 episodes, so I'm halfway through it right now. But it makes sense to be as long as it is because it's like one season and done. So
it was behind Disney Plus Yale only being available in Disney Plus in Japan for about a year for whatever reason, which makes no sense.
Don't you just love when Disney buys the rights to anime and then tells no one?
Yeah. Well, I remember hearing about it for a while because it was like, obviously Disney Plus means it's going to be on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
And like I know a bunch of people, they were watching it on Hulu. I think like last summer, maybe the summer before. So like it was one of those things where I watched a couple episodes. It's really good. It's just I don't go to Disney Plus or Hulu for anime too often, so it's very easy to fall behind on stuff there.
Yeah, it just so happened to work out for me that I was reminded of the show again because somebody had mentioned it because it is a really great show.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really have any shows to watch between Monday to Wednesday, pretty much. I don't have anything that's like scheduled to be coming up. So I'm like, oh, I'll just throw on like a couple episodes of Summertime Rendering, and now I'm hooked. I'm like, I watch it when I get the chance. So that's really good.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. I want to catch up and watch that. And then reading wise, I haven't really been reading much, anything new. I keep up with my same series and just go about that. So same stuff I said last week.
Nice. What have you been watching and reading, Isaac? Anything new or something you want to update the people on?
I was about to ask Mike if he wants to give his comment about what he has read/watched recently.
Sure.
Watching is mostly non-anime stuff right now. It's screener season, essentially. So many shows drop. So many shows drop between The Boys and Bridgerton and House of the Dragon and The Bear. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's great. But I'm here to rant because Isaac made me read Jujutsu Kaisen, and I hate my life. Not a fun time. Gege is an interesting writer. I'm not going to spoil story beats, obviously, but the paneling.
You'll have an episode about that coming out in, what is it, 2 weeks?
Sure, yeah. That's not me ranting about this damn series, though. So let me get it out now while I can, while it's still fresh.
Don't blink if Nobara's alive, Mike. Don't blink. Let's go. Let's go.
There you go.
Let's go.
No, but seriously, Gege needs to learn how to show and don't tell. There are so many speech bubbles in this book. It is insufferable.
Oh, dang. You might be reading a real book, too, then.
I mean, I think it was like, 2 chapters ago, the first page, I think it was like 20 text bubbles. And I'm like, no. And then another character was explaining, domain expansion BS. And I'm just like, huh? How is anybody following this? Are people making up the fact that they understand what the story is about? Because I am so confused. That was it.
Man, I hope
Not a fun time.
The anime.
The anime, I think, is better simply because they can show what's happening as opposed to a character having to explain.
Yeah.
I think Sukuna had like 4 pages of him just explaining some shit. And I'm just like, no, this ain't it, Isaac. I'm not doing this anymore. Good luck. Every JJK episode is in your hands. I'm out.
I thought you would love the manga.
The manga's a lot.
It's a lot. Like, it's interesting, but I'm just looking at it and I'm just like, what am I staring at? What is this? I'm glad I had it on my tablet so I can zoom in and out. Because if I was actually reading a physical book of JJK, I'd go insane.
That's how my sister-in-law reads, and I don't understand. Like, she buys the volumes, and she'll just be sitting there reading it. And I'm like, one, you're behind. But also, how are you doing this?
Maybe that's why she's behind.
The collection I have at my office here, and yes, okay.
The balance is off because, again, like the first couple pages of that chapter were just full of text, but then the last 5 pages were just like this giant, beautiful spread of art with not a single word on it. And I'm like, you could just spread the text out a little bit on this page, and it wouldn't have been as overwhelming. That's it. You got it, almost 300 chapters in. Gege, you got to get better at this. It was too much for me. That was all. That's my rant. JJK's weird. Have fun.
It shall be interesting to see how Gege's, it shall be interesting to see Gege's idol manga, which they have stated that they want to do after this, which is just knowing their.
How depressing is that gonna be? Because it could either be, it's a fun boppy idol manga, like great change of pace, or it could be like, this is the dark side of Hollywood, and it's just depressing as hell.
I mean,
probably be a bit
that's
of
Oshinoko, so I don't think that will work.
I feel like you can't cover idol culture without talking about the light and the dark. So he might rock that.
But then
it's going to be depressing for sure.
Then it ends up being in the JK universe, and some random curses becomes idols, and need to hide their identity for Jujutsu sorcerers. I don't know. I mean,
don't give them ideas, Isaac. No, we already got too many. We already got too many spinoffs around here. Don't do that. We don't need the JJK idol spinoff.
I mean,
bring the bar back in the idol spinoff.
Yeah, it shall be interesting, at least. That's for certain.
That's interesting, though. Very different topic, different genre. Curious to see how that would work.
Especially when it comes to someone that wanted Jujutsu Kaisen to become closer to the Exorcist in tone before the editors chimed in.
Interesting.
And no, I'm not joking. That's supposedly the first idea of it all.
Very interesting. I don't get that.
And but like AJ said, look up the Sakamoto Days or read Kaiju. I think you will enjoy those ones.
I
Yeah.
am watching Kaiju. I will not be reading it. And like I said to AJ, anime got announced. I am not picking up Sakamoto Days. I am just watching the show. One day. I still got to get through Full Metal Alchemist eventually.
Oh, I forgot
Oh,
about that.
and we also am going to get you on board with One Piece as soon as the remake
Oh
comes
Lord.
out. Got
Oh,
it.
there he goes.
Yeah, he said that he just wanted to rant about Jujutsu Kaisen.
I think he was running for the One Piece.
Yeah,
I
Jamie's right.
I tried to leave too. I didn't have the ability.
Dang. Oh, there it is. All right. I mean,
I mean, you said that you were going to check it out, and
Then they announced the remake, so it's like,
oh yeah,
nah.
the remake. The remake.
I talked
I'm back.
about the remake.
I mean, honestly, well, I don't even know if I'd want to watch the remake. I might just watch the live action show. Do I want to go through that
No.
first season again?
They're gonna fix some things. I think it'll be cool. I love Wit. I'm down to see Wit.
I'm curious about it, but it shall be interesting to see the difference between Toei and the difference that Toei Wit does compared to Toei.
Animation wise, that'll be interesting. I'm thinking like score, like voices, like that might get where it's kind of weird, right? Because like after 30 years, those voices are so iconic, both dubbed and subbed, right? So is it gonna be weird when you get to specific locations and that score is different, or those voices are different?
Honestly, I just think they are going to use the voice lines from the original and just
then what's the point? Damn it!
And the dub actors will be the live action actors.
They might.
That's what I think it's gonna be when it comes to the voice acting part.
They might re-record it. Because I was actually, if anybody doesn't watch Totally Not Mark and likes anime content, definitely check him out. He makes some good videos.
I have no idea who that is, but noted.
He was one step away from getting sued out of his ass against Toei for some reason when he just out of nowhere started to lynch his channel.
He's known for getting the Toei nuke, but he does other things outside of getting nuked by Toei.
Not to cut you off, Jamie, I want you to make your point right now, but I just love how Isaac said that, like that was going to clear things up. It's just like, got it. Bet.
It's somewhat of a big thing in the anime community, but it's like, if you don't know, you don't know. It's fine. But he made a video where he talked about the music in Dragon Ball Z, and I had no idea. Apparently, the music for Dragon Ball Z has changed at least 3 or 4 different times because they had like the original, then they changed the music for the English dub for some reason. Then when they did Dragon Ball Z Kai, they made another score, and then I think they made another score again when they found out that the composer for Dragon Ball Z Kai was plagiarizing. So then they just went back to the original score. So there's just a lot going on, but I don't ever remember anybody mentioning it. So I feel like if you change the score for One Piece, as long as you have like those select like iconic pieces or just like melodies throughout, I think people will be fine.
That's my point though. Do they do that? Because like Dragon Ball changing so much is kind of probably why nobody talks about it. Whereas One Piece's score has been consistent for 20 plus years. And if they don't set, like even the live action had motifs and riffs from that anime. If they don't do that, will it be like, it's weird? Because I already know some OG One Piece fans are already like, I don't need this. I'm already 1,000 episodes deep in this other show.
I mean,
yeah,
I don't think it's for them though. I think it's for
Also
everybody
fair.
else. That's like I can't get into an 1,000 episode show. They're like, okay, well, this is for you. It's not 1,000 episodes. We're starting with 1.
There's a reason why I say if you want to get the quote unquote full experience as of it's right now, go to the manga, not the anime. And I'm someone that follows the anime weekly, so It's faster to read than to watch, after all.
Speaking of the anime, I love the art for Egghead Island. So fun, so whimsical.
It makes a perfect sense for the arc also. It's more goofy than the Wano arc, so I mean, it's it has different art styles depending on the arcs, and yeah, it totally makes sense that they had this art styling compared to, let us say, Wano that we have been used to what 2 to 3 years now. So
Wano was like 3 years. What, like 150 episodes, something like that.
195 to be exact.
I was being generous. All right.
That's a lot of episodes.
That is a lot of episodes. I might be like
Indeed.
most of the episodes I've watched in a year. Honestly.
But to his credit, they're still they're only 10% filler in the anime, so for better or for
You
worse.
see, you say that, but this is the moment where I feel like I want filler. If you said 1,000 episodes, but you could skip half of it, I'd be like, I bet. But you're telling me
Yeah.
1,000 episodes and I only get to skip 10 of them? I'm good.
Which is why the remake is a good thing.
Yep.
But anyway, it's watching, reading stuff like here. It's the usual kaiju spy, which is honestly, without going to the full spoiler, Mr. Elegant is finally getting a backstory, which is awesome.
Woo!
What?
Bitch looks surprised. I saw him turn like
Best
What?
characters back, baby. Let's go.
His backstory is really good so far, which is a lot of fun.
This is
Well,
the arc I
One
never
Piece,
knew I needed. I'm sold.
we have One Piece, which is just full blown bonkers right now. We have Kaido, which is just insane. We have Jujutsu Kaisen, which is an interesting experience to say the least.
yeah.
And hopefully Gege makes a good recovery, considering Gege is supposedly sick right now.
Mm.
And
Get well soon.
Mm-hmm.
we also have Make the Exorcist Fall in Love, which is a great great manga. Watching wise is Demon Slayer, and yet again I have to say kudos to Ufotable to actually give us some proper filler in terms of giving the extension for this arc. Because,
I've been enjoying it.
Because unlike other, how should I put, for those that have watched Attack on Titan, as a comparison, I mentioned that before, but the filler in this arc can compare to when in Attack on Titan anime, they show the training that Eren and everyone else has to become scouts, but in the manga, they don't show that. It's just a time skip to when they become scouts, and the whole training, them training, I do feel is a good filler or fill in or whatever you want to call it. It's and so far the new scenes in Demon Slayer. So far the new stuff in the arc has been good.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it.
I agree. I was kind of nervous going into it because people said it's one of the weakest arcs in the entire manga, and
it is.
So far, I don't know how I would match it up against other seasons, but I've been enjoying it, and I think it's been fun. So that's enough for me, honestly.
That's fair.
And also Spice and Wolf, which is a lot really cute so far, which is I highly recommend watching. It's and I'm going through Windbreakers because that was a lot of fun.
I've been
And
hearing about that a little bit.
Yeah, I have to. I need to watch it.
and me and Nathan covered it last week. No, 2 weeks ago, and well, we both enjoyed it quite well.
Oh, sick.
But yeah, that's pretty much it from my from my book. But now we before. Do you guys have anything else to talk about before we go into the main topic?
Oh, it sounded like Mike was going to say something.
I was just saying what Isaac said was dope. The shows he was watching. As far as anything else to add before you guys move on, no. Same as usual. I'm really loving Kaiju. I gotta get back into it. I'm like an episode or two behind, so I gotta catch up before it wraps up very soon. I both love and hate short series where it's like, if it's one I'm really vibing with, I'm like, dang, I kind of wish I had more. Other times, 12 episodes, it's perfectly fine. I need to get into Demon Slayer, though. I haven't started it yet. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. This, like, I liked last season, but with Demon Slayer, I'm kind of just like, all right, Demon Slayer did that thing where I wanted to get invested in that world, but they never gave me a reason to. Like, I still know nothing about Inosuke or Zenitsu. It's like, I like them, but I don't love them,
Yeah.
So
this arc does not fix any of that.
Yeah, that's my point of like, I had to come to terms with that.
At
Where it's like,
least so
that's the
far.
story.
At least so far. Maybe next episode they'll be like, bring him in. Let's
Yeah,
talk
but
about
once
your
the-
background.
Once they do that, I'm like, oh, they're gonna die, because JJK did that to me multiple times.
That's fair.
Yeah. I
The Naruto
mean,
flute comes in. Du-du-du. It's like, oh boy, here we go. Backstory and death.
Yeah, we kind of need to we don't need to stop doing that in anime, but stop.
Hey,
Yeah, it's just a trope. Like, there's a better way to give backstory, and there's a better way
Yeah.
to intro a character death.
hey, look at it this way. They did and this wasn't in the manga, FYI, the whole flashbacks for Nezuko trying to fool everyone, and oh, she's gonna die, and nope, she didn't die, so.
Yeah, that definitely, they got me. I was crying. I was like, I can't believe they did this.
Thank goodness, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of saved the season, because the season overall, I was a 6 out of 10 on it.
That's how Demon Slayer keeps roping us back in, because it's like dope animation, and when you hit an emotional moment, it does hit. I just wish we got more of those. So I'm gonna get to the season. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm sure I'm gonna like it too. Like, I've liked Demon Slayer up until this point, but it's also just one of those things where it's like, I always saw more potential from this story, and it just never did it. It's really carried by fun character interactions and cool fight scenes, and so once I get through Kaiju, I guess that's what I'll jump into next for my battle shonen anime.
I'm not gonna lie, Demon Slayer took a major hit to me when I found out that all the animations was just for aesthetics.
Oh, really?
That took a major hit to me.
You see, this is why I'm glad I watched the show, because I would have been livid, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna pretend that it happened and just keep enjoying the show for what.
I only watched the show. Somebody told me, and I think they just thought I knew. Like, maybe obviously manga readers don't know that for sure, but I'm just like, that takes a lot out of the
I'm
show.
curious as to why that took a hit, but we could talk about that off stream.
Yeah.
We might save it for just Demon Slayer specific stream, because you can't tell me water style breathing and then no water shows up. What are we doing then?
That's what I'm saying. It took a lot.
But why is the anime suffering because of that instead of the manga being like, why didn't the manga do that? Even though that is a lot of effects, and that'll probably be
That's a lot of. I get why they didn't do it.
Yeah, but
it took a major hit. Like, I still enjoy it. I do still obviously watch it week to week and stuff. But oh boy, I was like, man, what we doing here for a little bit?
Oh man, Isaac, we've got an anime to talk about, right?
We sure do, and it's someone for the ages.
Ha, ha,
TTYL,
ha,
have fun.
ha.
Yeah.